Hey guys, I'm back. So, as you can tell by the title of the vlog today, I'll be talking about my acne journey and how apple cider vinegar has helped in really minimizing my acne and the scars basically. So, I use the word minimize because I don't want people to. I don't want to say it cleared completely. I have to be I have to be honest, right? It hasn't cleared completely. Right now, my skin is healing because I did have a breakout a couple of weeks ago, and I think in other videos you will see how my skin was. There was more pimples, basically, right? And yeah, so I want to make sure that, and also believe that people's skin, my skin reacts differently to certain product, right? So maybe someone will use the apple cider vinegar and it won't necessarily work with them. It will be just like me, where it will, for me, well, it's working, I will say, but it's working in minimizing my acne, right? And so, just to begin, my acne journey. I started having acne when I was around 11 or 12, basically, and it was mainly in the upper back of my back. Am I making sense? It was on my back, but on the upper part, basically, and I think around 11, 12, I didn't really care about it, although it did hurt. Like when I get acne, it's very painful. It stings and uncomfortable. Uh, but I was like, okay, I wouldn't sit down. I wouldn't lean back and have my back touching the chair, or I would really stay straight, and so it wouldn't have to hurt, basically. And then it kind of went away, and in high school I would start getting pimples, and when I do get pimples, I usually get them on a bit on my cheek over here and over here, and what I would say, just to make it faster, it mostly goes like this. That's where I tend to get my pimples, like really that area. It touches my bill, my cheek, and when I get them, they tend to be like sticking together, if it makes sense. And I get a lot on my chin and under my nose also, right? And that's when I started, because I think the truth of the matter is acne does have an impact on your on how you perceive, how you look at yourself, basically. I remember when I got acne, I really thought I wasn't the most beautiful person. I mean, and also beauty standard is so difficult. How we people always want things to be perfect. You have to have a perfectly clear skin. Your teeth have to be straight and not yellow, and it's okay. I just find the beauty standard sometimes to be very toxic in our life sometimes. But you do have to take care of your skin. That's something you have to try things if it does bother you, right? And since it bothered me, I started using expensive products just to get clear skin. Some would work, some wouldn't. And when they would work, they would work for, a good month, 2 months. I would have relatively clear skin, I would say, but then it would come back, and I would keep on using the same product, and it wouldn't do anything. Like it would stop working, and I would spend a lot of money for my skin, and I think about 2 years ago, I was getting sick and tired of having acne problems, and every time I would talk to people, if the people would be close to me, I would always find a way to you know stand like this, like that, or be like, oh, oh, for real, because I was trying to hide the acne. It was really, like, I get really lots of acne on my chin, right? And I still do have a little bit, but what can you do, so yeah, so I was just tired. I didn't feel I didn't feel, I feel like my skin for me, as I'm talking, my skin could have been better, right? If I could take care of it and if I could find the right product. So I turned to apple cider vinegar about 2 years ago because I heard, I would look at videos and I would look at dermatologists talking about apple cider vinegar because I really thought that, at the moment I would use apple cider vinegar, I would burn my skin, because apple cider vinegar does have, I'm not going to say anything 'cause I don't want to talk as if, I know what it has, but it can burn on your skin. That is why there is a certain way of using it, and I really informed myself before using apple cider vinegar on me because I was just everything I was doing was just it wasn't working, and I was like, "Ooh, there must be a more natural way to use it, and without me spending a big amount of money on things that just don't work on my skin." So so in New Zealand, in Aotearoa where I live, or people know it as New Zealand, um, I am using natural apple cider vinegar taste maker. This is the one I'm using basically. And how do I use it? So first, I start with cleaning my face. I use Avene basically. Avene really helps. It really, I clean it and I wash my face with it, and then I make sure that my skin stays. I don't dry my face basically, because what you have to know is that with apple cider vinegar, you really have to mix it with water, because if you put it directly on you, it tends to, it can burn your skin. And I'm going to see something else that I do. I It's been working for me. But yeah, let's just talk about how I do it, right? So I put the apple cider in the container basically because this is extremely big. So my face is it's kind of wet, but it's starting to dry. So once I feel it starts to dry, what I do is I use cotton. I'm going to show you what I use, what I prefer using. So it's like a cotton pad. Well, I can show it to you, but it's really, cotton pads that I use basically. And I put it directly. I put it on the cotton pad, and then my face is still a bit wet. I tap, or sometimes I just go around. I go just a little bit like this in the areas where I really get the pimples. And I started doing it last year, and I will say, for me, it took a while to for it to kind of work, for it to minimize, basically. Again, I say minimize because I think we all have different skin tones, and yeah, skin tones. Well, we all have different skin, I would say more, and what will work for me may not completely work for another person. I've seen videos of people using apple cider vinegar and they use it, daily, and the skin is clear, but it's not my case. Me, it helped minimize, and I think it helped minimize greatly. I think if you look at my other videos, I did have a breakout. Uh, when I would it Because of the apple cider vinegar, it would be to that extent. But if you saw me, you know, when I was younger, and even in my 20s and my early 30s, you would see that when I would get, acne sometimes, it would just be everywhere. But since using apple cider vinegar, it really minimized my scars. It really minimized, the pimples, and my skin is starting to be more, it's glowing, right? It took a lot of time for it to get to where it is right now. I will be very honest. For me, it took a couple of months to actually see how it works basically. Just to not how it works, but just to show you that it did work. It did help my skin. Basically, it took me, I think, 6 months for me. I know it's kind of long, but that's for me. It's because my skin, right? For some other people, they use in under a week or 2 weeks, their skin was glowing, you know. For me, it just really helped in minimizing the scars and the pimples. Now, there's something I do, and I wouldn't recommend it, but when I do get a breakout, I tend to clean my face, because my face with the soap and then the vinegar, but I do it 2 times in a day. Sometimes 3 times I'll use the apple cider vinegar. Um, it's helping me, but I think you have to taste it. You have to test it on you first, because again, apple cider vinegar does tend to burn the skin. So always use water with it if you're gonna do it like I do it, because when I did have my breakout, and I started using it like 2 to 3 times a day, and now it's my skin is back to its normal self. I say there's still a bit of pimples, but it's not as as bad as was a week or 2 weeks ago. So yeah, just to recap, I how to use it. You wash your face with soap, basically. I use Avene, and then after once you've washed it and your face is wet because of the water, basically. I tend to let it dry just a little bit. Like I stay there, and then I just tend to let it dry. And then once a bit dry, when there's still water on my face, I take the cotton pad, I put the vinegar on the cotton pad, and I gently just go around where I really get the pimples. So I get the pimples over here, so I take the cotton, I really go around, and in that area, over here, and my nose over here, right? And it does sting a little bit. It does sting, but for me, when when it stings, I don't know. For me, I think it just tells me that it's working and that I'm killing the bacterias. And yeah, so this is my vlog. I hope I hope apple cider vinegar will help out, and for you, like it has helped minimize my scars and my acne. So this is it. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, you can subscribe, comment, and like. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Have a good day, evening, morning, wherever you are. And bye.